Hey chingus and amigos, welcome back to the channel. Today we're heading to one of the most colorful and lively experiences in Mexico City, Xochimilco. But is it worth the trip? Now, do you like getting drunk in boats? Do you like making guacamole with your own bare hands? Do you want to hold a giant snake on the back of your shoulders? Do you want to see native Mexicans hanging upside down from a rope from one of the tallest poles available? Well, if you want to do all these things, you gotta come down to Xochimilco here in Mexico City. Now, Xochimilco is famous for its brightly painted boats, which we're gonna get on, floating food vendors who are selling elote, and live mariachi music where you can choose the song. Let's get to it. Kaja. To get to Xochimilco, you have to traverse scary Mexico City, which costs about $10 an Uber, and it's completely safe and fine to arrive here at the boat location. Once you're here, you can book a ride in person, but I found it much easier just to book online through TripAdvisor, and the cost for those trips are about $30 to $50, and they usually include all you can drink and all you can eat, and usually the food is typically small appetizers. But the all you can drink usually includes tequila and mezcal to your heart's content. So if you book online, you also get a great guide who is typically fluent in English as well. And you also group up with other fellow travelers who are looking to explore Xochimilco and this fine experience. So this is obviously a boat ride, so you gotta board the boat and you'll meet your conductor in the back, and he's gonna get this boat moving with this big, giant, long 15-foot stick. And you're going to see me epically fail in a bit because Luis lets me use this stick, and you'll see how difficult it is to navigate.
Is there a ground?
To this day, I couldn't find the ground, but luckily Luis could. Back to leaving the dock, all the boats are interlocked like Jenga puzzle pieces, and Luis here has to navigate and unlock the boat to get to the entrance of the river. Once you get out of the dock and you're inside the river, all sorts of vendors are gonna float around, and you essentially just have to reach out and yell for them and they'll come right over. One of the first vendors we encountered was a live mariachi band, and the only reasonable response was to have them come on board and play us some music at about $5 per song.
El mariachi loco quiere bailar, el mariachi loco quiere bailar. Perreo, mami, perreo. No pare, sigue, sigue. No pare, sigue, sigue. Tequila para bailar, tequila para el mariachi, tequila para bailar. Para el mariachi.
After several songs, from all the excitement, we had to take a pit stop, use the restrooms. So we parked the boat on the side, and near the restrooms, there was an exotic animal exhibition just out here floating next to the river, and it only cost $7. So I said to myself, why not? The exhibition began very simple. It showed the native axolot right here, very black, and the ones that have been bred in captivity are not black. They're instead transparent, pinkish looking, and these cannot survive in the wild. They then had the wildest range of animals imaginable. Like, it totally makes sense to have those indigenous animals like the axolotl, but then they had that green iguana, the tarantula, this bearded dragon, this Sonic the Hedgehog, these piglets that may be used for the tacos later today, and all sorts of snakes that came in all sorts of sizes, lengths, in colors. And while you may be focused on the snake on me, if you look behind me, there's this big snake trying to eat the little boy. Let's get him out, they say.
Well, I'll put the hat on. I gotta get the vibe. What's his name? El Güero. El Güero? Wow, this
Heavy, huh?
it's interesting. It's just like moving around and you just have to kind of adjust. He's like, let me get around his neck.
He wants to get into the jacket, I think.
Thank you.
Guys, anyone else? No?
Now, that snake was hella heavy and it's a bit hard to see, but there's a second yellow python right there behind that it's twice as big. Unfortunately, it was too big to hold, so we didn't take it out. So after jumping back on the boat, making some guacamole that would make my grandma proud, and eating some chapulines, which are salted grasshopper, we kept on going down the river road. There was something just magical about being on these boats with the bright colors just surrounded. You got people playing music in the background on these xylophones. You have friends and families and other tour groups also enjoying the beautiful weather and the beautiful boats. And you have all these boat conductors that are demonstrating the Mexican grit of working hard to make memorable experiences for those on these tour groups. And mind you, it's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit on the boats, so they're really putting their back into getting these boats moving and also getting the elote moving to my mouth. As you can see, you can purchase elote on the fly, you can rent mariachis on the fly, and we played this really crazy game where we got shocked on the fly. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, there was loads of free alcohol that's included in the price, but what isn't mentioned is that the Mexican guide will also teach you how to properly drink mezcal and tequila, because we all know swirling the bottle around your head on a boat in a canal is the best way to drink tequila. Then the Mexican guide also said, does anybody have anything to celebrate? Me, having just got accepted to various law schools, offered myself as tribute. I dedicate this moment to all those future law schools that I need to get ready for.
Vámonos! Arriba!
Then we had a Texas versus California beer off between these two fine individuals, and I bet you can't guess who wins.
Cali versus Texas. Cali versus Texas. Cali versus Texas. Let's go!
I missed that. You guys still have some. I missed that one. Can you guys do it again?
Before you know it, reality comes back. Luis is going hyperdrive, and we dock the boat back in the station. So there you have it. Let's break down the cost once again. It costs about $10 to $15 Uber from the middle of Mexico City to make it out to Xochimilco. If you want to hire a tour guide through TripAdvisor and book one of these tours, it costs about $50. If you want to check out the exotic animals along the road, along the canal, it costs another $7. And if you want to pay for mariachis, you want to pay for elote, you want to pay for all these different snacks that come floating by, it's about $5 per snack per mariachi song. So, Xochimilco, you gotta come here. If you like to drink, you like to party, you like the vibe. Unfortunately, you couldn't listen to much of the sound going on because there's too much music being played and YouTube will copyright me. And next time, we're gonna check out the voladores, the dancers of Xochimilco. We're gonna talk to some indigenous Mexicans. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys later in the next video. Let me know down in the comments, do you want to visit Xochimilco? If you do, what would you do here? Adios.